Have you ever heard of the Hashshashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Arcanum Gaming. My name is Richie. Today we're jumping into our 11th episode of Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. Last time we started exploring the hospital and made a little bit of progress. Talked to a couple of the sick patients. Met the obnoxious Mr. Shiny. The very annoying floor cleaner. And when we last left, we had just picked up this novice doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Who we are going to, I think, use to take this guy's blood pressure.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients. Hey, Benoit.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. Are you ready with that pressure gauge?
Primed and ready to pump, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sotmarsh.
Okay.
Hey, Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge?
Ah, yes.
Use it on Nurse Grant.
Huh?
Go on, she'll enjoy it.
Well, okay.
Dr. Stobar,
Yeah?
I would appreciate it if you saved your jokes for the intern's restroom. This is a hospital ward, not a cabaret.
Oh, lighten up.
I heard that. Any more nonsense and I shall report you to Dr. Hagenmeyer.
Alright, well, now that this guy's blood pressure's been taken, maybe he'll let us go by. Yes, he will. Thank goodness.
Rather you than me, pal.
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lahmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the Hashshashin.
Not
Hashshashin?
me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly, tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
Yeah, we know it's
You
in the
have it?
museum.
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them?
We've met. What about the Hashshashin?
Is more likely to
have followed Klausner. He'll stop at nothing to prevent the reforging of the sword.
And that's bad, is it?
As for Klausner, he is
Syria.
gone to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Reforging
Ronnie.
the sword.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Is that guy actually a doctor?
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter! The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Or too late. Okay, can we turn off the heart monitor, please? Thank you.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah, killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window. Have you ever heard of the Hashshashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
I wasn't trying to click on that, but...
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. Can you think of any use for this?
That's a thing for measuring blood pressure, isn't it? What are you doing with that?
I picked it up in the hospital. It could be useful.
You ought to take it back. Don't you feel guilty?
No.
Alright.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, were you referring to Andre?
I'll let you work it out.
Huh. Alright. Where to now? I kind of want to go back to the museum. See if the thugs are around here, but maybe I should go down to the police station first.
You have left it very late, monsieur.
Late for what?
Anything? I am closing the museum soon. You wouldn't like to get locked in. I can tell you. Not in this gallery.
Why not?
It is haunted, monsieur.
You don't believe in ghosts, surely.
Oh, yes, I do. 7 years ago, a lad managed to hide in here. He'd made a bet with his friends, I suppose. When I found him in the morning, he was cold as ice and stiff as a board.
Well, what was the cause of death?
They said it was a brain tumor. But on his face was a look of stark, desperate terror such as I have never seen before.
Scary. Forget it.
No, monsieur.
Okay.
It's pretty obvious that we need to hide in here. But I guess we need to wait for him to be looking in another direction. Come on.
No, monsieur.
Okay.
Why does he always just tell me no? There's got to be a way to do this.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
Have you ever heard of the Hashshashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, Assassini, the assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashshashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point. Do you have any use for this, Andre?
Shouldn't think so, Georgie.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Does this apparatus mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
I found this gem at a medieval site in Ireland.
That means nothing to me, monsieur.
How did you manage to get this job?
I had the right qualifications. a military manner, squeaky shoes, and an irrational hatred of children.
Thanks for your help.
Alright.
Watch out! You'll have that done on top of us! No, monsieur.
Come on.
Okay.
How am I supposed to... It's so obvious, but what am I supposed to do to distract
The
him?
totem pole looked distinctly out of place in the setting of the museum.
Watch out!
Can I interact with this window? Maybe?
There was no obvious way into the building. Through the grimy glass, I could see several large shapes in a gloomy room. What they were, I couldn't imagine. There was no...
Alright. Once again, we'll have to come back. Back here to the police station.
Excuse me,
What do you want now?
have you ever heard of the Hashshashin, Sergeant?
What was that?
The cult of the assassins.
What are you trying to say, Stobart?
That the clown is a member of that cult.
I see. And what proof do you have?
Proof? I arrived at my conclusion through logical deduction, and
Pseudo-intellectual people. Leave the investigation of crime to those who know best. The police.
is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes,
Yes, I
please.
do.
One moment, monsieur. It's Stobart, monsieur. He insists on talking to you again.
Thank you, Moo. What now, monsieur?
Do you know a pair of thugs called Flap and Guido?
I have known those two since they graduated from special school. Flap is a nasty piece of work, but Guido is the real brains of the partnership. Where did you hear of them?
I met them out front of the Hotel Ubu. Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, that I have washed my hands of the
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without you.
No, you must forget the business of the clown completely. Go back to being an ordinary
What do you make of this, Inspector?
Astounding. Where did you come by a stone like that?
I was given it by a man in a bar in Ireland. Do you recognize the gem?
It is unfamiliar to me. If such a jewel had been stolen, I would know it for sure.
What was that psycho-detective business you did in the cafe?
It is my theory that the passions evoked in violent crimes create ripples in the ether, invisible to all but the possessor of a highly developed...
I'm impressed. Can you bend spoons, too?
I didn't think a man of your obvious intelligence would stoop.
I'm not mocking. I've had personal... I used to get ignored at parties until I...
Really?
Hypnotism for fun and He looked at me as if I'd farted it.
The power of mesmerism is a rare...
Did Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
Have you heard of Professor Pegram, the archaeologist?
Molly Pegram, the second son of Lord Barclay Pegram.
Well, I don't know. I only read about him in a magazine.
So much for the efficacy of rehabilitation. What has he done this time?
He made an important archaeological find in Ireland. Do you know Pegram well?
I have connections with the family, but I wouldn't say I knew him at all.
Is his name really Molly?
Of course not. That was the nickname he was given at school. All his friends and acquaintances know him as Molly.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur. I suggest you ask Sergeant Moo about that. God only knows why, but he collects matchbooks. He claims it is a hobby.
Interesting.
I heard that the bomb victim's name was Plantar.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the Treasury, wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been taken off the case.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
So long, Inspector.
Alright, let's ask the sergeant here about the matchbook. Come on.
Excuse me.
What do you want now?
Does this matchbook mean anything to you, Sergeant?
That's a double-line Swedish with a crosshatch Bergman strike strip. Now, that's unusual. Pre-war Anderson hinging.
Really?
I haven't seen a reinforced Anderson outside of a private collection.
It's rare, then?
In this part of the world, yes. There are only 3 places these are made. Taiwan, Manila, and Slough.
And you tell me anything else about it?
Excuse me.
What do you want?
Does this match...
That's a double line. Now, that...
Really?
I haven't seen...
It's...
In this part, there are only...
Do you have anything else to say? Or is that it?
Excuse me.
What do you want?
No.
See you later, sir.
Alright. Go to the airport now. There's nowhere for us to travel. Okay. Let's go back to Montfaucon.
Hello again, officer.
Hello again, monsieur.
What do you think of this?
A blood pressure sleeve.
Don't you want to know why I'm carrying it?
No, that would be dangerously similar to making inquiries. I might get a reputation for taking my job seriously.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur.
I doubt there's going to be anything new up here. Pretty sure at this point we just need to figure out how we're supposed to hide in the sarcophagus, unless there's just something I'm missing completely, a conversation piece we need to have, because there's no new locations we can go to as far as I can tell.
Just think. There's a dead guy under there.
Can we perhaps use the gem with the statue?
Per disciplinum. bit of a stained glass window. Wow. Hoping for a big had been. I didn't recognize the biblical story.
See if there's anything else we can talk to Nicole about.
The window was full of.
Not the window, I want to go in the door, please.
Hi.
Hello, Josh.
I have to go.
Oh,
Okay.
no. I'm gonna watch the whole animation again because I clicked the wrong button. Ay, ay, ay.
Hi.
Hello, Josh.
Oh, excuse me.
Labino explained who the Hashshashin were.
Yeah?
The cult of the assassins.
Oh, boy.
That's all you have to say?
Did I show you this matchbook?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, Josh. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
I have to go.
Okay.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to wrap it up there. I got to figure out what to do next. I'm pretty sure we just need to figure out a way to hide in the sarcophagus in the museum. But it doesn't really seem to matter where the guard is standing. I can't seem to get past him. So I'll have to ponder this a bit and think about it for next time. So thank you guys so much for watching and have a nice day.